Hey, it's Christian here. So if you don't know me, I've built a company with my partner Miguel, and we help coaches completely automate their client acquisition process. We do this because we believe that coaches should not be spending half of their day doing outreach, but actually doing what they sign up for, and that is coaching and helping other people. So for this video today, I'm going to talk about a very, very dear subject to me, that is taking the leap of faith and doing something that is you think you shouldn't do. Okay. All right. And I want to do this because it is a crucial part of business, and I'm sure that a lot of you business owners that are here right now are taking that step or have done the decision. So I got some points to cover, and let's just jump right in. So the first thing that we're going to be covering is, what is the most important decision in your life? Yeah, that is one hell of an opener. This is basically what the leap of faith is. And if you don't know what the leap of faith is, it's making a decision that can change your whole life. That is basically taking the leap of faith. And you're doing this, for me, it was trusting someone else with some money and changing my whole life, basically. And there's a lot of different leap of faith decisions in your life, but these are usually the biggest decisions that you make. And you'll make a lot of them, but especially when it comes to career paths and personal life, that's where you make the most some actually impactful and real leap of faith. Because of course you'll make a lot of hard decisions and tough decisions, but those who really, what we call a leap of faith decision, is what changes the rest of your life, basically. And I think a very good subject to cover and a good thing to understand when talking about leaps of faith is that you're jumping in to something new, something that's unexplored for you and you don't know anything about, not really at least, so you want to seek knowledge. But when you do this, something will also come at a cost. You cannot expect to keep everything while gaining everything. If you get some, you will also lose some. I know that's a very famous and stupid quote, but it is true, and you must be ready to lose something if you want to gain something new, and that is part of everything. One of the hardest things here in life is losing what we love and care about. But usually the biggest sacrifices also gives the biggest rewards at the end, or biggest positive changes for you. I'm not telling you to just ditch your whole family and start doing whatever you want and anything. I'm not taking care of your responsibility. No, of course not. But sometimes there will be decisions who are going to impact your family life, how much you see them, how often you see them, what you do, how you do it before your job, maybe quit your job. That's also a big decision. Jump into something new, and it's scary. It is really scary to do. And if you're not ready for the impact that it's going to give, because when you're making a big decision, usually a lot of new things happen and a lot of things changes. And it can be hard, it can be tough, but most of all, it is really, really scary, because it usually comes down to one word, and that is yes. Well, let's go. But usually, yes, I'm ready. And usually these big decisions, especially in life, is you getting something offered from someone else. It was for me. I can tell you a little bit how it was for me, what my story was. So I was just in school doing, your average educational, doing HM Denmark or an EUX is kind of way to, get educated, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It wasn't okay, and I liked it. I had some good friends there, blah, blah, blah. And it was okay. Not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, but it was what it was. So one day, right, I was just scrolling on Instagram, as any kid does these days, right? I was just scrolling Instagram and I saw this ad, right? This guy showed Forum Society. I'm like, what's this? This looks interesting. Book it. Okay. How to make 10K in 6 months. Oh, that sounds really interesting. What does that mean? Just looked, blah, blah, boom. I scheduled a call, or I booked into something. I don't know. I think I booked into email list. And then I got cold called by Alexander, who has become a big idol in my life. Someone that I really look up to know. He cold called me and said, "Hey, man, I know you were interested in this. We want to jump on a call sometime and talk about it." And I said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." I didn't know what I was getting into, right? I didn't know anything what I was doing or what I was getting into, so I said, yeah, all right, let's do it. I don't know anything else. I mean, this looks interesting. Maybe something will happen. And we got on this sales call 2 days after, I think. It was a Thursday. And we talked, he told me a little bit what he does and what I want to do. And he actually was a real good salesman, that's for damn sure. Also taught me a lot. Very grateful for that. And, he brought up some pains in my life about where I am, where I want to be, why what I'm doing now is not clearly what I want to do. And it was, what he was offering was a way into the entrepreneurial world, building a business, doing something on your own, being your own boss. And it was something that I'd never heard of before. Not really, at least, and really taking into a serious account that it's actually possible for me to do as well. Thought it was something illusionary and imaginary, and basically I was blind for that. But he sold me in a very good way, and we were on this call for, I think, 2 hours or something. It was a long time. I had a lot of objections. I was scared, really scared, because when we got to the end of the call, right, he was, all right, should we do this? Should we do this? Are you ready? I said, yeah. You know what? What's the price? What's this going to cost? And it cost like, what was it, $5,000, which for me at that time was a lot of money, right? That was a lot of money for someone who's in school, not having any reliable income. I had a little bit, but nothing reliable. It was a big number. And I was, it terrified me. Just that amount of $5,000. What? It's just, I couldn't fathom it. But then just clear me, how is he selling $5,000 product to me? Like, can I do that as well? It's like, well, wow, this actually could be working. I just said, I didn't have the money at that time. So I said to him, Alexander, man, I don't have this money. I can't do it. And what he said was just, what we'll do for you is we'll split. I want to get you started. And he shared so much confidence with me that I ended up paying. It took some time, but I got there. I paid the money, and I got my first mentors, spiritual mentors on that course. And I got started. I began with that, and it was not what I had expected in a good and a bad way. I thought it would be easier. Not gonna lie, I've talked about this before, that my start was rough. I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot easier. It wasn't. And I didn't get anything for 6 months. Because I was lazy, didn't know shit, still in school. I took that leap of faith, knowing that I put my trust in him. Because he said, you can do it. I believed him. I truly did. I still do. I'm grateful to that man that he helped me. Changed my life for the better. And where I am now, making, I don't know, 7 figures. There's nothing I will know, or I do know. I just don't want to share it. Because there's nothing to Bible world. Doesn't matter. All right. It was a really hard decision for me to take. And I knew my parents would probably hate me for it. Spending their money on something, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't our family, wouldn't do something like that, but I did it. I got critic for it. They weren't proud of me, let's just say like that, but I did it. And it changed me, changed my whole life, changed perspective. But damn, am I glad I did it. But I lost something too. Here a month ago. Now the consequences of that choice came. I dropped out of school. And of course I chose to, right? But I lost some friends. People started looking at me a different way after knowing what I've done. Not done it in a bad way, but I was just doing something that they couldn't do, and they kind of fell apart. I lost some friends doing this. I gained a lot of new friends, but I lost some friends. My mother and my father didn't like doing it. They really did not like me. So, later they accepted it, of course, because they knew this was the life for me and this was what I was going to choose. But they were not happy because I spent 3 years at this education and I just dropped out like that. Because I was sure this was the right thing for me, and it is. I'm not saying you to drop out of school. It's very irresponsible. Don't do that. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive. If there's anyone young like me watching like that, hopefully that could be super fun. All right. But what I'm really trying to say with this is, yeah, I gained a lot from taking this leap of faith. I know I've been battling on for a long time. I hope you're still here, but you will get something. At the end, you will get something for taking this leap of faith. And I learned a lot. That was what I did, but I also lost a lot. And you have to be ready to make those sacrifices. But now, right, this choice led me to building a successful company, helping loads of people get their dream lives, help even more people, because I help coaches, I help people, so I help even more people, right? It's just, for me, it was just a logical choice, and it still is, and I love it bits. So you can use this leap of faith in your own business also when you're buying, because there are a lot of decisions when someone wants to buy a coaching program is because they want to change, and changing means manipulating the current self or killing the current self, actually. And that's hard. So that's why whenever you're watching your prospects, maybe, that they're going through something that I was going through. And it's an emotional mess. It's all emotional at some point. Because what you lose, it's not really the money part. If someone's making a decision purely on money, it's just because they have been in that situation before. It's, if you can understand this and start to see it in people, selling will also become a lot easier, because you can start to get a lot more empathy with the one you're selling to. Because I promise you, when someone buys something very expensive for the first time, it's going to be noticeable in the person. It's just, it's a lot of money. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know what to do. It's just smoke screens for what's the real thing. Just go in and find the real objection. Some sales tricks for you right there. But it's hard. But I promise you, if you can learn this and see it, and maybe also reflect on your own life, what is your basic, like right now, pause the video, write down what got me to the place that I am today. What was the decision that ultimately led me to be where I am today? I know a lot of your coaches, what made you start that coaching business? What was the decision that you took to start that coaching business? I know it's different from a lot of people. I've heard a lot of different stories, but what is yours? And write in the comments. I would love to hear it. I would love to give you some feedback on anything, and just share with the community if there's even any views on this. I don't really care, but hopefully. Because right now, I believe you should have done it now. You look at that, and think, all right, this got me to where I am today. Say thank you to your past self for making that decision, but also think, what did I lose from this? Not that there's anything bad with it, just come to terms with what did you lose from this. And this might be a little bit harder. It is hard to understand or to see what you actually lost. And it's not fun. It will never be fun. Just look at it and think, what did I lose doing this? Today, so I lost friends, time with my family, my youth. Sorry for that. All right, that was a little bit the one. Let's just take this a little bit away from business. There is this might be silly for some of that. When I was younger, I had this fling on a girl, and blah blah, right? Shiny tell me I run a business. I couldn't talk with this girl, basically. And the same principle applies. If I were to talk to this girl, right, I would change my whole self, do something I was really uncomfortable with. Basically changing who I am. That's also taking a leap of faith and going in and say, if you do this, you will change and you'll get better, but you'll lose something in the way. What you lose is who you are right now, and you gain who you can become by making the decision. I did talk to the girl, right? I did talk to her. I changed. It changed me a lot, man. It's good I did it, man. She was one of a kind, though, but it was a tough decision. It took me, probably embarrassing, but it took me a couple of months to do this. Not proud of it, but it happened, right? And I lost, who I was. I lost my insecurity, right? The things you lose, not just bad things, you just lose who you are. Can be good and do bad. I lost a little bit of insecurity, gained a lot of confidence from it, right? I was a trader, and I got to, all right. So, but it's going to be super hard to make that decision. I can't really give you a trick on what to look ahead, what will this decision do. It's just when you're in the moment and you will have that decision, I'm probably sure someone will come again, and it comes all the time. Well, not all the time, but something like it comes all the time. Just think for a second. When I say yes to this guy, do start doing this, right? What will happen for me? Not now, not tomorrow, but in 5 years. That's a great question to ask. If I make this decision now, what impact will it have for me in 5 years? Then think, it's not really going to have any effect at all. Just think, if it went right, it doesn't really have any effect at all, right? And this could be jumping out of education. That could have a huge impact for me, so I have to, think about that. But spilling a cup of coffee on some clothes, you can choose to be angry about that thing, but it's really going to matter in 5 years. it's not going to matter tomorrow. Think about, what is this decision that you're going to make? What can this do in 5 years if this works? I'm not telling you that it will work. I'm telling you what if it works, because you have to think what if it works. You also have to be critical. Of course, don't just say blindly yes. Think about the values, but I'll say 40-60% for the positive, 60 critical, right? So you want to be in that positive mind, because I sure won't get anywhere. You'll be stuck. You have to be willing to take decisions that are hard. And also, I should say that you also need to take decisions that you shouldn't have taken, because then you learn not to take them again. So even though if you make a bad decision and you pay for it later, bad put, but you'll learn something. You never only lose. Never, ever, ever only lose. You never only lose anything. Whatever you do, you never only lose. Especially from those big decisions. Small, it doesn't really matter, but the big decisions, maybe you failed, you've worked with the agency before and promised you a lot of things. Not me, of course. I promised to deliver. So he burned you. You lost some money. But what did you learn? And what did you learn? You learned that kind of people don't work, right? Of course, then you maybe have a bad belief that all agencies are like that. That's not true. I can promise you, I got a lot of good agencies, but also no bad ones. You create all these false beliefs around it. But you learn something, right? You learn to be careful, learn not to do anything, know what to look for in the next agency so you don't get burned again. And you know what? The worst thing, I think I'm going away at this point. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. So, how do you know that the right thing you're going to do? It's hard to say that what is the right thing to do in this kind of situation. And it is really just to reflect with yourself and really think about, what does this decision do for me in the long run? What happens if I do this? What happens if I don't do this? Look at these 5 years, right? Look what could happen. That's really how you decide if you make a good or bad decision. And yes, it will be hard. I've said it a lot. It is going to be a hard decision sometimes. But it is necessary for you to get over that bump, because otherwise you won't change. Because every time you change is associated with a decision you've made. An active decision to not do what you usually do. When you do something that you won't usually do, and you as a person, I wouldn't make this decision, but you do it anyway, you change. That can be good and a positive, bad. That can be good and positive things, right? But usually, if you learn to spot these things, you can build a lot of awareness. I know I've built a lot of awareness, but you can also build a lot of awareness about this too. So you can find out what's, actually going to move the needle and do something for me in the long run. All right, I have a couple of points left to cover. Or I have one left to cover. So some of these decisions will also, because a lot of decisions, it's a time dependent, and you will spend a lot of time thinking about it. It will have a lot of impact on your time. I was starting my own business for myself. I work 12 hours a day. I don't have much of a social life other than my partner, business partner. And then I have playing with a girl, right? It's nothing serious, right? I don't spend a lot of time going out drinking. And that's the way I chose it. Especially when you're doing business like that, this is what you're going to choose. And your clients as a coaching business will have to spend a lot of time on themselves, right? So when you're selling to your clients, make sure you also, help them understand this, that if they say yes to your coaching, they will change and they will losing something on the way, but they'll get better most of the results. But you have to also remember, do it after they've bought usually. And remember that, okay, are you ready to do this? This is going to be hard, but in the end, you'll probably lose something. You'll spend a lot more time on this. But in the end, you'll gain so much more. I had this guy on a meeting the other day who actually doing okay. He was making like 5K a month. He had 2 children and a wife. And he was working his balls off for this goddamn coaching business. And he wanted to scale to 20K and just have it a little bit more passive, so only doing the coaching. And we got on a call, right? And I said to him, okay, it's a little bit of a rough question. So what he wanted was more time with his family. I said, all right. If you continue doing what you do now, when you'll be able to actually yourself get this 20K a month and automate your complete process and, continue to make this 20K a month and get the time with your family. The one who's just like, it's going to take a long time, and it will. So I said to him, I can help you with this now, right? What if I told you that I can help you get these gets at least 20K. I can take care of all the shit you don't want to do. So you can spend more time with your family. I know, but I have to say this to you. The next 3 months, you're going to work a little bit extra. But I promise you, after those 3 months, if you can get through these 3 months with a little bit less time, after that, you can spend a lot more time with your family. You'll quickly gain that time back. Instead of just going on and working right now. And you could see that because he lost some time now with his family, and it was hard for him, man. It was hard for him to take this decision, and he hasn't bought because he needs to think about it and call him later. I understand, because that was a hard decision for him to take. But, you know, even though it's a good thing, there will be bad consequences of it. I just really want you to remember that also taking a decision. Good things will come, but bad will also follow. Yin and yang, good and evil, day and night, right? Two sides of coin. Okay. Now I think we've come to the last point. Last point I want to cover is the worst feeling that you can ever have is regret. And this is a big one. And as soon as I bring this word up, I'm sure you watching right now have something you're thinking about. Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Yeah. And it's goddamn tough. Because regret is probably one of the worst feelings that there is. And these decisions, if you're at crossroads and you choose to say no, 5 years from then, knowing that your life still sucks, taking that decision, thinking, I could have done it different. That hurts. And that's also what you gotta think with these decisions, and why you want to analyze it so big, because otherwise you're just gonna regret it, and there's nothing worse than regret. Like, let's say a family member dies and you regret, oh, I could have done this, or I should have seen that, or I should have spent more time. Why did I say no to him to come visit him last week? I could have seen him one time. You just regret on things you can't change. It's so hard and it's difficult. I've struggled with it. I've known a lot of people struggle with it. Everybody struggles with this. Regret. The worst thing you can feel. That's why you have to take action sometimes. And the hard decisions will be hard to start, but they'll get better at the end. As good way to say it, suffer 1% now, or suffer 10 times more. Right? Enjoy now and suffer 10 times worse in the future, than suffer now and enjoy 10 times more in the future, right? Look at it like that. Regret is inevitably the worst goddamn feeling you can have. So, wow, that was a bit of a deep one. All right, let's get this rolling, or let's get this going. That's all for this video. Hope you have got something out of this video. So really hard video for me to recover. The records is a very personal subject to me. So thanks for watching. Thank you for taking the time. And if you're a coach or consultant struggling to book appointments or have a reliable system in place to get your appointments on demand, I think you should check out the link in my description if you want to. It's full transparency. It's just a sales funnel, or not sales funnel, appointment booking funnel for you to get a meeting with me. I would love to talk to you. If this is anything that sounds interesting to you, just check it out. Look it up. Don't matter if you're busy, someone check it out as well if you want to. Copy it if you want. I don't really care. Have a great day, and make sure to subscribe. And if you like the video, there's a button for that. And I love you. Have a great day. See you soon. Hopefully. Hi.